Hello everyone and welcome back to Cabincast Reacts. I'm Thomas and with me today is Lee.
Hello.
And today we are doing a bit of a throwback because we're having a look at Walking with Dinosaurs, the BBC series from, this is going to make me feel old, 1999. In fact, October, I wouldn't have even been one. I would have been 3 months old when this originally aired.
3 months old, yeah.
I
was 6 months old, actually. No, never mind.
So yeah, some would argue the quintessential dinosaur documentary, particularly from the BBC. Entirely in 1999. At least the original series. There's a bunch of extra material that they've got here on Netflix that we might take a look at. And in particular, we're taking a look at the first episode, New Blood, which takes place in the Chinle Formation in Arizona, USA. Although it is entirely filmed on New Caledonia.
Huh.
Which is an interesting thing you'll see all through these. The filming locations are places where there is either lots of ancient plants, so they don't have to CG all of it,
right,
or where there's no grass.
Sure.
It's going to be slightly different, I think, than most reactions because I've seen it. I'm pretty sure you've probably seen it as well, Ollie.
Years and years ago. I don't think I remember any of it.
This was reran so many times. Yeah. And it's going to be an interesting look back at what we now know, because it's still a very good series, but there is a lot that you could say is wrong with it now, because
this is
obviously science marches on.
Yeah, less a reaction, more an overall discussion. It probably won't be released as a react, so I'll just release it like we did with when we went and did Thunderbirds. On those 2 episodes, more like that kind of thing, more discussion.
Yeah. We hopefully will do at least the original series because it's only 6 episodes, and it's and they're all only half an hour, really.
Yeah, we'll get around to those eventually at some point when we find the time.
Stuff with Nigel Marven's always fun, but that's more of an entertainment thing than a documentary thing. Anyway, I think we should get right into it. So I'll get this off and we'll start going.
And we've started.
We have. I love the intro to Walking with Dinosaurs. It's one of the best intros to a documentary ever.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Walking with Dinosaurs. And this is a good intro as well here.
Yeah.
I don't know where this is. I almost want to try and find out, but
definitely looks
I'll
like
leave
England.
that for later. And this is a place in Chile, I think. Which they use for Hell Creek, which we'll talk about when we get to Hell Creek.
I see. Layers don't exist.
That's why they use this, because there's no grass in this entire natural park.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, hello there, T-Rex. Again, we're not really going to talk much about the intro because a lot of these are going to get covered in other parts, their own parts.
That shot's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the T-Rexes was like, oh, this is very
90s. Yeah, T-Rex is the stuff. So sometimes it looks brilliant, and sometimes it's like, oh, see, the baby T-Rexes look good.
That's very pretty. With the lighting as well.
Mm-hmm.
When it's got the closer shots, they're much better than the full wides, I think.
Yeah. Stegosaurus.
Yeah, because we're closer to the end of the dinosaurs than the end is to the start, right?
Yeah. Well, Stegosaurus is T-Rex is closer to us than it is to Stegosaurus.
Yeah, because that's 152 million. That's 65.
Yeah, absolutely
Madness.
Insane amount of. Yeah, it's mad. Oh, there we go. Diplodocus there.
Diplodocus.
Mm-hmm. It's the long boy, although it used to be the super long boy, but now there's a lot of other ones longer.
Pterosaur!
Yes.
Demon creatures.
Oh, I've got some words to speak of that.
I sent a picture of. Oh, it's a mosasaur.
Yeah, no, that's a pliosaur.
Oh, pliosaur, yeah.
But I do have some words about that pliosaur when we get to it.
I sent a picture in a D&D game a few weeks ago of a pterosaur to people.
Nice.
And one of them kind of missed it, and they didn't realize that it was real. And I was like, no. That's a thing that exists. And they were like, no, no, thank you.
There we go.
Quite funny.
Triassic. That's a Rherosaur skull there. There we go. Passerius.
So these are reptiles, not dinosaurs.
Technically they're mammals. Well, stem mammals.
Oh.
Now. So Passerius are stem mammals. They would have been called mammal-like reptiles.
Sure. So they look like reptiles, originally, but they're not.
No.
Interesting.
Because they're close to like where mammals split with reptiles.
Yeah.
So Reptilia is an incredibly inclusive clade. It includes all mammals, all archosaurs, all pedosaurs, all testudins, really.
Oh.
But we just sort of separate out birds and mammals because they're so much more diverse than the other lot.
Yeah.
And because that's classically how they were separated out: reptiles, birds, mammals.
Sure.
Yeah, Passerius is one of
the come from dinosaurs.
Yeah. Passerius is one of the last stem mammals before you actually get to like proper mammals.
Right.
And I think they showed some that are closer to mammals.
Sure.
It's interesting. I say it's interesting. They go with Coelophysis here as one of the first dinosaurs, because at the time that this was produced, we didn't have dinosaurs like Herrerasaurus, Eoraptor from Argentina, which are like middle Triassic dinosaurs.
Right.
Coelophysis is actually fairly common. This is an interesting shot. Look at its feet. They put these piles of mud in front of its feet to make it look like it was actually there, because they were afraid that the feet looked like it was floating.
Right.
It's a good Coelophysis model, though.
Yeah, I mean, the close-ups are really great still.
Yeah.
It's the
animation
shots.
They look a bit dodgy.
These aren't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big movements that are a bit uncanny, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a nice environment that they've picked here in New Caledonia for it. It looks good.
Pretty.
Here we go, Passerius. I assume this was back when they were called mammal-like reptiles, even.
Because these very much look like mammals.
Yeah. Yes, mammals. I'm not gonna say it. hmm Not true, but they couldn't have known that at that point.
Right.
Because again, they are stem mammals, so they aren't the last because we're here.
Sure.
But they are the last of one of the last of their particular group, which is Passeridae or something like that. I think there's one in Poland and one in Africa, which outlasted them, but again, discovered fairly recently. Yeah. We don't think Coelophysis even attempted at Passerias for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it just seems like a bad plan.
Yes.
Gonna say, what are you gonna do there, little one?
Here we go. Silent. Yeah, sort of. You can sort of call that. This is another. Yeah, basically. It's another type of stem mammal, a lot closer to actual true mammals, as they show, although it doesn't come from the Chinle Formation, which is a bit of an issue. It comes from Africa, so they've somehow teleported to North America.
Ah. Hang on, like all land mammals, they lay eggs?
No, like all stem mammals lay eggs, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
But this is before.
Mammals,
yeah, I don't think that's supposed to be correct. I don't think he said that. He might have said reptiles. No.
I maybe misheard him.
But yeah, basically, because placentals in mammals is like exceedingly recent. I mean, it's exclusive to placental mammals.
Yeah.
A good number of because there's a stupid number of diverse mammal groups in the Mesozoic which aren't related to marsupials, monotremes, or placentals. And placentals only really show up towards the very end of the Cretaceous.
Mm-hmm.
And here we get
That'd
introduced
be things
to
like mammoths and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
here we go. Best character EU. It's the Postman.
The Postman.
It's the Postman, Postasuchus.
And this one isn't a dinosaur.
No, this is related to dinosaurs though. Closer to crocodiles.
Yeah, that's a crocodile.
And there's some interesting things to say about this one because it's not walking correctly. They show it as a quadruped here. It was actually a biped.
What?
Yeah.
No, thank you. Oh, more like that.
Yeah, more sort of like that. I can find you a picture of it probably somewhere.
Is it still the largest carnivore on Earth?
No. It's the largest carnivore in the Chinle Formation, I think, at the time. It's not anymore.
Right.
So
that's not right.
No, that's not right. That's a case of science moving on because there was a big debate about whether they actually did. And at the time, it was leaning towards quadruped, but now it's gone the other way and it's now leaning towards biped.
Yeah.
fairly decent model of it as well.
Yeah.
Gets across the crocodile relation, which it is closest to in terms of living animals.
Yeah. The serious no.
It is
They've
dead.
all just teamed up. They could have stabbed it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not Mumble's work, but still.
And then we're going to get pterosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
I'm not going to lie, this is not the best model for Dinosaurs. It's basically their Rhamphorhynchus model.
Mm-hmm.
With a few additions.
Giant dragonflies?
Carboniferous, although they probably would have been quite big. You can imagine how insane this would have been for the insects.
Yeah.
Ruled the skies for millions of years, longer than even the dinosaurs, and now finally there's competition.
Yeah. Or just competition, but
yeah,
danger.
All the pterosaurs in this. We'll talk more about pterosaurs in this in Walking with Dinosaurs a little bit later, but all pterosaurs in this have their wings folding wrong when they're on the ground. They fold like weird, like outward when they're supposed to like fold inward and back. It's kind of difficult to explain.
Right.
So
were insects bigger and they've got smaller already?
Insects, their respiratory system is based on the amount of oxygen in the air. So higher levels of oxygen, bigger insects.
Bigger insects.
Yes.
No. Insects just have. Oh, I did all this. Oh, it's this chap again.
No.
They've got like spiracles or something. That's not the word, I don't think. And the air just goes in and out, and there's like liquid sac things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is good as well, showing the Postosuchus the top predator, not just mindlessly killing things, which some documentaries do like to do. Well, technically now should also have to fear. Where is it? I need to hop over to Archosaurs in the Chinley Formation. There we go. Definitely would have to fear Saurosuchus, which is bigger.
Postosuchus and Saurosuchus.
There's a bunch of other ones which are similar in size but smaller.
Sure.
Bad move, Dinosaurus.
Very dangerous.
I've posted a picture of Postosuchus in spam. How we think it looks now.
Big again. Oh, wait, that's Postosuchus, gotcha.
Yeah, that's Postosuchus. Saurosuchus, we think actually was quadruped because it was huge.
Because it was bigger.
So that's Saurosuchus there.
Yeah, so much like larger in the middle.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It might have come from Postosuchus. No, dinosaur. Oh, there we go. It's the first multiple dinosaurs in the shot.
Yeah, apart from the T-Rexes.
Yeah. Well, the whole point of this was to sort of like indicate that they were getting more and more.
I was going to say that seems like a bad move as well.
Yeah. Scared them away.
If something lives in a hole, you do not go in its hole.
It was almost, I want to say, sort of to imitate like how birds are very inquisitive, which we think was probably something that dinosaurs were as well.
That makes sense.
Oh no. And I think this is a failed hunt.
They're flying back.
That
They're rebelling.
Yeah.
Probably by accident, but still, they did it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look really closely at this animation, you can. I think some of the animations are looped here. Yeah, they are. You can see them like copying in different animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like baby moles or something.
Yes.
Baby mammals, I
It
guess.
is kind of interesting that they chose, because I don't think the Chinle Formation has a Decinodon type animal.
Right.
So in order to get this into the documentary, they chose to teleport these guys from Africa, basically.
Sure.
In comparison to some other dinosaur teleportations that occur. Oh,
It's
hello.
not too bad. I was
It's
worried
not
about this.
too bad. Yes.
No.
And now the Coelophysis know that it's not just a scary hole; it's also a food hole.
Yeah.
Oh no. They're back!
Mm-hmm.
There's not room for the two of us.
Is it with reptiles? Is it only insects where it's mainly the females who are bigger?
It can be reptiles. I think later on in the series they purport that dinosaurs had their females as larger,
Yeah.
but that's been fairly certainly disproven now.
Right.
Yeah, this is, while a cool scene, not something that they would be doing in the desert environment of the Triassic.
No.
Wasting water is exceedingly dumb. And unlike mammals, most reptiles tend to use their eyesight a lot more. So scenting would have been less likely.
Right.
Not that certain dinosaurs and reptiles had bad smell. They did have some really good smell. T-Rex in particular had some like horrendously awful broken smelling powers.
Yeah.
Oh, this part's sad.
Oh no.
It's speculated that behaviour based on what some rodents and other mammals do.
It makes sense. That is very sad.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe we see the Silence again after this, and it's supposed to again sort of indicate that the mammals are going underground.
Mm-hmm. Ha! Idiots.
Bird-brained.
Yep. Oh no! What noise was that?
I don't know.
We've been japed.
Again, inquisitive dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
No, lungfish. This is insane. Okay, certain species of lungfish that we have around today have like fossils of the same species from the Cretaceous, and I think maybe the Jurassic.
Wow.
Particularly in Australia.
Of course.
This is interesting sound being made there.
Yeah.
Now there's
Does the
5
lungfish
of them.
escape?
I don't think the lungfish can escape, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's on land already. It's already stuck.
Yeah, I mean that's like the big thing with lungfish. They can like hide in like a water membrane that they make.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they survive the drought, whereas all the other fish drown. This is a good example of how dinosaurs might have pack hunted.
Yes.
Not coordinated, just sort of gathering together to. This is a really good practical prop here, I think. Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Again, some really good speculative behaviour for Coelophysis here.
Yeah.
Because we know that they at least died a lot in the same place.
Yeah.
It's also nice how they make the puppet move when the dinosaurs are supposed to be jumping on top, even if that shot there is a bit suspect.
And
again, rapidly increasing numbers of Coelophysis.
Yes.
To show basically how rapidly dinosaurs began to appear in the fossil record, because you get tidbits of them in Africa, tidbits of them in Argentina, and then you get to the United States in the late Triassic, it just becomes lots and lots of dinosaurs. And then after the Triassic, it's just dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this post-Suka skull. Yeah, no, this is completely speculative what they just said there.
Oh.
It was more likely to do with their advanced breathing apparatus, because they've got, bird-like breathing.
Yeah.
And this is also an interesting discussion. Because, yeah, this is debated, because there is fossils with Coelophysis, with younger Coelophysis in their stomach, but there's a debate as to whether they were eating them or to whether they were about to give birth, basically.
Oh,
and
right,
that they were inside, that the eggshell didn't preserve, but the embryo did. Almost.
Bats. Oh, no.
Oh, no, we do see the Xenodonts. Yes. Oh, no.
And the tables have turned.
Now your baby will be mine. Again, just to show how common
that's all that's
they're
left
becoming.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Sirius have gone off and wandered off. The Postosuchus is dead. This is another good scene. I love this. I don't know if they just poured some stuff into some dive bits, or if they actually waited for the wet season in New Caledonia to film this, but whatever they did, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Everything springs back to life. Yeah. Monkey tails, monkey trees.
Yeah, we still have those today.
We do. Again, from Chile, although they're actually quite common in the UK as ornamental plants.
Yeah. Trees outlive everything.
Yay! Again,
humans still do that.
Mammals, not necessarily their descendants, but cousins.
Sure.
Because stem mammals, not actual mammals. Yes. We're about to get another case of a dinosaur teleporting, and this one's a bit worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are types of these dinosaurs at the Chinle Formation. I'm not sure if they were found then.
Right.
But there are now, at least. Yes.
Ooh.
This is Plateosaurus.
Is that a carnivore or a...
That's a herbivore.
I was going to say...
Yeah. They're supposed to be in Germany. Not the United States. Yes. Again, they're walking on fours here because there was an argument about that. They almost certainly walked on two legs most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're part of a group called sauropodomorphs. That should give you a clue as to what they eventually become.
Uh-huh.
Because just like the Psarius and the Dicynodonts are stem mammals, they're stem sauropods.
Ah.
Which is why they're big.
They are big. It's true. They are big.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Real filming location, New Caledonia.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
I knew his voice.
There you go. It's the explanation of the yes. There we go.
Nice.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. It's interesting looking back at it because obviously I think it's this episode. In fact, is it every episode that has a case of dinosaur teleportation? Actually, no. Cruel Sea doesn't. I don't think.
Because that's then the
Cruel Sea and Death of a Dynasty don't have any dinosaur jumping, but everybody else has sort of like weird dinosaur like teleportation going on. In this case, it was Postosuchus. Not Postosuchus. Plateosaurus and unidentified cynodont, which is basically based off the cynodont, which is an African species.
Right.
Accuracy-wise, the models in New Blood are probably the most accurate in the series because basal dinosaurs probably didn't have much, if any, integument.
Sure.
They might have. It depends on... It's very contentious, basically, because pterosaurs have integument as well. It's called pycnofibers, which is like a hair-like structure. And there's a debate as to whether pterosaurs, which are related to dinosaurs, whether there was a common ancestor with that integument, and that whether pycnofibers are actually feathers or not.
Yeah.
It's sort of weird. But it's generally accepted that early dinosaurs, if they did have feathers, they probably didn't have full body coatings, and they were probably used for display, unless in a few edge cases, like Eoraptor is thought to maybe have a full integument.
Yeah.
But there's a chronic lack of evidence regardless, so you could theoretically do it any other way. Most of the animals are fairly accurate. Maybe a little bit of shrink wrapping on the Postosuchus, which is basically where you just put skin over the bones. And a good story.
Yeah,
nice story of the dinosaurs going from very rare, which we know they were in the middle Triassic, to becoming exceedingly popular by the end of the Triassic, and then being basically it in the very... I'm being called, so give me a sec.
In the very end. Yeah, obviously Tom can tell you much more about this stuff, but we're about through with it now anyway. Yeah, the music's still great, and yeah, the close-up shots still looked very nice. It's more just like the wider shots that are, you can kind of see them more blurred around the edges. The movements are a bit uncanny, but it's still, for the most part, holds up for what it's trying to do.
Yeah. A quick talk on the animation. It was the best animation of the time, but obviously to what we're seeing now, it's nothing. And it's incredible to think within our lifetimes that we've gone from this being considered the gold standard for animation, particularly in dinosaur documentaries, to stuff like Dinosaur Revolution, Dinophasia, Dinosaur Planet, which is the BBC's most recent dinosaur documentary, Dinosaur Planet, which has some incredible CGI in it. In fact, that one is fully CGI, Dinosaur Planet.
Yeah.
So they could actually make the environments look how they were supposed to. Because New Caledonia is all right, but we're going to get to certain points where the environment just isn't very good.
Yeah, sure.
Particularly, I want to say there's some cases in Giant of the Skies. I think there's definitely Death of a Dynasty has a lot of issues with its filming location, because they picked the filming location because it had no grass, and they wanted like a big stage for all that, because it's obviously a bit difficult to find places where there's no grass in other places. Problem with that is the place in Chile that they used to film looks absolutely nothing like what Hell Creek is supposed to look like. In fact, while grass is not technically present in Hell Creek, there's a lot of analogues for grass in like reeds and that sort of stuff, because it was a wetland, basically. But no, it's a solid intro to the episode, and it garnered the most viewers out of any of the episodes in the UK. 18.91, so for all intents and purposes, 9 million viewers in the UK.
Wow.
Which is incredible.
It's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people, and the music as well. I've just got to say, the music in all of Walking with Dinosaurs has always been great.
Yeah, no, I did say that. Yeah, it's good.
And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the reaction is to Time of Titans, but we'll do that another time.
Indeed. For now,
goodbye.
This is everything. Yeah, goodbye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cabincast. For more episodes, go to www.cabincast.podbean.com or use the Podbean app. You can now also find us on iTunes and Pocket Casts under Cabincast and on YouTube. The uploads here are quite behind. Finally, you can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Cabincast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.